Hello, and thank you for joining the session. Today we're going to keep working on our multi-platform chat bot. So far we've managed to get connected with all of the services that I'm interested in. We have a connection up and running for Twitch, we have YouTube up and running, and we have Discord. Behind the scenes, YouTube has some weird issues that I need to work on that I think I've figured out. I'm going to need to do that probably on my own to do some experimenting. In the meantime, I'm going to switch over to our live console and see that we actually have some content already in the channel. So one thing that's wrong here is that these values are defaulting to my name. So that is not correct. This is the only one that is actually correct. And before I go into actually working on decoding the actual author name, author's display name and avatar, I'm going to look at this particular problem because this kind of got us caught up yesterday. I'm going to pop in here. So the problem is that we are actually setting the display name on the message author inside this message. Now, I didn't really understand what was going on here at first because as far as I can tell, it should be working. I'm assigning it to this message. This message can be used up here, no problem. I thought maybe it was a scoping issue, but the problem turns out to be this bit right here. So I'm going to actually unfix this solution because this isn't actually what we want to do. The problem is as soon as we append the templated content onto the actual document, which is where this lives, it doesn't keep this container anymore. The nodes are moved from this message into messages container. That means that this message from this point on has no child nodes at all, which means this stuff here, when it executes at some point in the future, is working on an empty this message. So there isn't really a lot of explanation as to what's going wrong. All it says is that we're calling, let's see, something like query selector dot message author dot text content. We're calling that on null essentially, even though it should be working. As far as we can tell, it's actually null. So what we're going to do is we need to get a reference to this node before we append it. So we can keep a reference to the node. That reference won't go away. It's just that this container, this message, no longer contains that node. So the way we can fix this, I believe, is to create a variable up here. So we'll do author name container, and then we'll do author name container. And likewise, we're going to have to do that for the message author avatar as well. So let's call this author display name container and use that name up here, and var author avatar container, and copy this value container. Now I think when we reload this project, it's going to look a little different. Looks like Supernova's joined chat in Twitch. We can actually see this because it works, believe it or not. So we can actually see that Supernova from Twitch joined and said something, which is awesome. Some of these other messages in here weren't from me. Some of them were from YouTube. Yay, it's me. So Supernova just wrote this in my more real-time-ish chat. I think that we'll actually pick that up relatively quickly now. I've intentionally slowed down the refresh rate on the interval for polling. And also there's I think that's mostly what the problem is going to be there, if there's any sort of delay. We'll wait maybe another couple of seconds here for it to show up before we do a refresh. That delay is a little longer than I thought. Let's look and see what our delay is set at. Oh, it is 20 seconds, so that is reasonably long. But I think we've probably waited 20 seconds already. Oh, oh, my code isn't scrolling when new messages are put into place. So this was actually my dummy code from before, my fake code. Chat input. So on submit, here, this is what I need to do. So after we append a new message, we need to scroll top. So append child messages.scroll top. Let's see if that works. This messages local. No, it's up there. So I'm gonna double check here. Yeah, so messages is declared out here. So I think this should actually work. So I'm gonna reload this message and I'm going to actually type something into TC. Actually, I'm going to go through Discord just because we haven't tested Discord yet. Discord. So Discord should come through relatively quickly. It looks like Beryllium is on as well. Let's see. Ah, cool. So it is doing the scroll top. So it did bring stuff in, and it actually brought in stuff to the scroll top. So this is actually coming through relatively nicely. The 20-second polling is nice, but hopefully we can actually get to pusher shortly where it'll be hopefully near instant with everything. Joe just said, this message is not a test. You should be alarmed. Yeah, awesome. So we are getting information here flowing, which is pretty nice. So I'm pretty happy about that. So let's go ahead and pop back to, let's see here. So we're scrolling to the top. This was something I knew we needed to do. I just wasn't sure how to do it. One thing that I'm probably going to want to do is handle this after the fact. So if I'm scrolled up into chat, you're all Beau until you register for an account. Yep. Live on Discord, not live. Yeah, so my bad on that. So right now, yeah, so the idea was to have live in Discord pointing here, but you actually might want to check general. If you type into general, it'll show up because I haven't actually pointed it at the right channel just yet. So if you want to, I think that's Josh. So if you post that, if you post something into Discord general, it should work. Let's see here. All right, so something in general. And so that should pop up here shortly. All right, so I'm going to, there we go, I'm in general. So that's showing up. So we can see it came from Discord, but it says it came from Beau. So that's what this session is about, is making sure that we aren't using the templated name for these. We're actually using the correct names in more places. So we're appending the child. Let's see here. So I'm actually a little confused. Let's do console log response.data. I want to see what our data looks like because I don't really think it should still be saying Beau Simensen. Let's see here. Author info. Maybe that, oh, that's the problem. So let's see. No route. Method not allowed post. What? Oh, because it's doing get. Wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. So we are doing post. Admin. Where's it doing a get? Network. Let's pull this up. So author info comes back correct. Call to function display name on null. Okay, so let's go into our controller here. Live sessions. no. Live. There we go. Live controller. So we're getting this. The problem is here, we're calling display name and get avatar on null. I don't know why. Oh, I wonder if it's because it's a method not allowed exception. Method not allowed, author info. I don't know why it's doing a get is the problem. Because all of these should be posts. Yeah, so it's post. Error. Get display name on null. I think that's probably, I wonder if that's a throwable. I'm still getting the hang of those. Beau. Let's see if this behaves a little better. There we go. All right, so this, it looks like this was more an issue of this being an actual throwable rather than an exception, so I wasn't capturing that problem correctly. So that means that we are now getting the actual usernames for the people that we know about directly. So for example, I know about Supernova, I know about Simensen on Discord, I know about Beau Simensen on Twitch. I don't know who this YouTube user is, which this is actually me. And we can see that we're using the default avatar still. So the thing that we're going to work on today is making this stuff work now. So we want to actually show the right information for people as it comes through. So let's go ahead and go back into, because we're already in live controller. Let's do display name equals, let's do unknown. And let's do if not display name. Not avatar URL. So let's do if we don't have either of them. I'm trying to figure out if there's a situation where that wouldn't be the case, but let's just do this for now. Let's do switch. We need to switch on source type, case Twitch, case YouTube, and case Discord. And default, we'll just let it fall through and use whatever values it has. Let's do display name, unknown. Let's see what this does now. We'll reload. All right, so it says unknown for the user. Let's maybe see if that breaks the internet. No, but it didn't like it anyway. We'll just leave it as unknown for right now. Someone could actually have the username unknown, I suppose, in which case, yeah, that'll be a little weird. So what we want to do then is do this. Response equals this. Decode Twitch author. Beryllium says, be right back, changing username to unknown. Awesome. So decode Twitch author, and then we're going to pass in the author ID. We're going to do this for all of our types. Then we're just going to do some copying and pasting to get started. So YouTube author, Discord author. Maybe we'll do Discord first. But essentially we need to just go to these services and do the dance to make them actually work. Decode YouTube. Copy this. Unknown Twitch user. This will just make it look a little more interesting in terms of knowing it's doing the logic correctly. Reload chat here. Still says unknown. All right, so let's see. I think display name. So if and not avatar URL. Not sure why. Oh, are we returning? Let's go ahead and explore our network calls. Author info. Unknown avatar URL unknown. So I guess not actually. So I guess not actually getting to this switch. Display name. So if not display name and not avatar URL. Display name was unknown. All right. There we go. There we go. So now we can actually get something that looks a little more meaningful so that we at least know that it's getting to the right spot. So here we see unknown Twitch user, unknown Twitch user, Twitch again. Did we forget to rename Twitch? Yeah, we did. Unknown YouTube user. There we go. So now we have Twitch user, and we have YouTube users, and Discord users. So now we just need to implement the logic to actually do something with those. So I think we'll do Discord first because I think that one is probably going to be the easiest. Let's go to the Discord API that we wrote. So let's do user persistence, get user details, data avatar. Okay. So I'm going to use this bit of code to determine the avatar. So I need to get the client, so get user details. This is where it's annoying that the API is tied to users now. What does create client need? It's a lot of stuff. All right, so we need to do this at the app level. Let's see what we have here. All right, so I thought Discord was going to be the easier option here. It's looking like maybe it won't be. All right, so let's see if we can do this fast. Let's see if we can essentially copy this code for client ID. We're going to copy this code for app. So let's do Discord API. Oop, I don't know what that was. I don't want them though. All right, so new class, Discord API, and hooray for copy and paste. Now I don't think I need let me check something real quick. So I have a Discord bot token. All right, I'm going to backpedal on this. I'm not going to do Discord first because it looks like it's going to require having some things that we don't necessarily have right now. So let's not do that. That's my bad on that. I'm kind of, yeah. All right, so let's go back to, where were we? Live controller. Let's try doing Twitch. So decode Twitch. So we have an author ID for Twitch. So we need to get, get the stream manager, calendar events. Let's get our app Twitch API. So app Twitch, is that a thing? No. Oh, I need a comma. There we go. So app Twitch, app API, and then let's keep that. So this is what we need to have for Discord, apparently, that doesn't exist yet. We don't have the app level client for Discord. The only thing that we've done so far is connect user accounts using the user OAuth tokens, but we haven't done anything with the app level OAuth tokens for Discord yet, because we're able to do the, we're able to connect to Discord from the app side with the bot token, but I don't think I can use the bot token for other things, because I don't think I can. So let's do app Twitch API. So I should be able to let's see, update channel title, get number, get most recent. Okay, so let's look at app Twitch API and user Twitch API. So we need to get the user version. So redirect app, redirect user. No, that's not right. Here we go, Twitch API, get user details. So this is what we need to do with the underlying Twitch API. Get authenticated user. Okay, so we don't have to use that either. App Twitch API, so let's do get user details. So we're still going to do try with refresh. And then inside here, we are going to call whatever function we need to call to get user details. So get user. Get user. User identifier is going to be user ID. All right. Say info. All right. So let's break some things by reloading. Double arrow. All right. Get user details, author ID. This is just going to break, so let's see what happens. I'm going to use the network tab to help us. Call to get user detail on null. Live control. controller live 180. Ah, did I not assign it? I would gladly accept cases where where I have to do some weird things because of auto wiring not working, then having to manually go and try to wire it up anyway. All right, so here we get jaloops and we see a logo. So we have the 2 bits of info that we need for the avatar info. So let's see here, let's say $user details equals, we'll do display name becomes user details name, display name, and avatar URL becomes user details logo. I think that's what it was. Yeah. All right, and I think what we'll do is if not user details, so we can return something empty just in case something fails. So if we go into user details now, we need to make sure to pass back that structure. So info, yes, this is the weird part. Let's do user details equals info. User details response. Add another level. And this is just because of the way that we implemented this try with refresh. It actually has to get back some information in this format. So we could probably do a check for, so if we don't have a value or user details response status is not equal to 200. Like this, there we go. Then we'll get back unknown Twitch user, otherwise we'll get the actual information for our Twitch user. Reload. And let's see here. Cool. So it looks like we got jaloops. I have avatar icon and their name. Looks like we get beryllium's name and avatar. So yeah, those things look like they're going all right, which is awesome. We just saw unknown Discord user, so we'll have to add that Discord user eventually. Looks like Jaloops in chat just said nice, so hopefully that'll pop up in a second with everything. There we go, pops in just like we'd expect. So awesome. So now one of the things that I'd like to do before we actually move on to some of the other things here is doing some caching. So especially in the Twitch client or the JavaScript side of it, I want to maintain a list of information we have, so we don't necessarily always have to do this. So let's see here. Let's do var user map, and then let's do, oh, I don't know what that was. User map, and we'll do Twitch and Discord and YouTube. Okay, so then at this point, we can say if map message source type, message author ID. Oh. So if we have this already, then we can just set it outright. So we can move this call to do the post request into an else block. So if this already exists, well, then what we can do is these bits, set attribute to that. So rather than getting that information here, we're going to get it from there. So we'll say var cached info is this value. And then we can do cached info.displayName and cached info.avatar. That also means that what we need to do down here is we'll do avatar URL actually, and we'll do after we get this information correctly, what we should do is set these values. So we have display name is this information. So we should only have to do one request per user is kind of the end goal here. Display name and then avatar URL is going to be coming from avatar URL. We should probably also do something here in this case as well, because if there's a failed user, chances are they're going to continue to fail. So we'll do display name can be, let's go back to the old format we were doing where it was source type :ID. Message author ID. And avatar URL will just be empty string. Reload. Something broke. I think I'm mixing my JavaScript and my PHP. I almost said Perl. Wow. It's been a while. Yep. All right. Fun times. Is that working? Yeah. Cool. So one thing I am noticing here is that it does show my name still for a little while, which is not good. Scrap it, start over with node. Right. So the non-cached part, or the thing that's not taking into account here, is that we aren't actually getting this. We're not setting these values right away. How do I describe this? When we first load, we actually get a bunch of these things in place before, or we get a bunch of these requests coming through before the first one actually responds. So what I think we need to do is move what I had here in the catch block outside. So what it should do now is ensure that once we actually do get the data back, it updates it with the right information. But let's see, this may actually behave differently too. Yeah, that's not going to work. Blast! So this little bit of caching is working, but it's not working quite as well as I would like it to work. Ooh. Let's see if we can try this again. Can you set a placeholder on the template? Yeah, we can. So if we look at the template here, we can see that the template actually has my name. It actually has a date stamp as well. So what I could do is just leave that empty, and then it fills in once they come in, which is fine. This is probably, I mean, this is better than showing my name, but at least for now, I'm not sure what we should do necessarily. Yeah, it's not. So Supernova is saying it's not terrible. It's not ideal, but it's fine for now. So just so we can be clear on this, the reason this caching isn't working as well as I would like as people keep putting stuff in, so like Supernova and Beryllium are putting stuff in here, and as soon as that pops up, I believe the cache is in place. It didn't have to look up Beryllium's information again because it was already there. However, since Beryllium had posted a couple of times in chat before that, every single one of these is going to kick off a lookup for their author ID and their author information. Tabian Fabler, that sounds like a fun thing on Twitter. I'm a little unsure why Supernova is showing up with empty square now when it had nothing before. Let's see. I think I probably do know why that is. What are we doing here? So if avatar equals to empty string, or I think somewhere we're setting it to null. Are we setting avatar to null? I think we are in live controller now. Let's see here. Author info. Yeah, let's do empty strings instead. And I think it might work better. So the other place that we can add caching, which is also the other thing that I had sort of expected we'd have to do, would be on the server side as well. There would still probably be a little bit of a race condition, but it will help save on my API token limits. So that's probably what we'll do right now. So at this point, we know the source type and author ID. Let's see here. So then we go to look to see if we know about them locally. If we do, we use that information. Otherwise, we fall back and look at the API. So the same kind of cache that we're building up here with our user map, we're going to need to do also. So we're going to do this in Redis. I was trying to figure out the best way to do this because I want this to expire, but you can't have Redis hash key entries expire. They don't time out at that level. You can set things to expire in Redis, you know, if they haven't been accessed within a certain period of time, or I think they just expire in a certain period of time if you don't reset them, which is probably what we would like, but we'd want that at the key level. So like if we wanted to have user map in Redis, it would work exactly like this, except it would be persistent always. And I don't think that's probably what we want to do because people change their display names, people upload different images and things like that. So trying to think what the best way. I could just not worry about that. I think we clear the cache every time we deploy, and if it becomes an issue and we know that people are getting stuck, we could probably come up with some sort of smarter mechanism. But for now, let's just do a simple cache. Actually, let's just use Redis. We'll use Redis directly. I've been trying to use the PSR cache, but it's weird the way it works, and just working directly with the Redis seems to be just as nice. Redis. Actually remember to assign it. Oh. All right, so let's do a quick check. So this Redis hget. And let's do h exists. Let's do set a cache key, a source type, author ID. IDs are nice until they make your life harder. Key. So let's do author info and cache key. So if this exists, so this is where a little bit of a race condition could exist if I'm going to do something inside here. I wonder if I can do the pipeline thing. This pipeline, no. What are my options there? Append, select. It's going to be very edge casey for this to become an issue, so I'm not going to worry about it. We'll do JSON decode this Redis hget. We'll do author info, cache key, and then true. And this is just going to fail horribly if this cache key becomes invalidated in the meantime. I'm okay with that. At this point, I could engineer for that and it never actually happen in production. So we're going to leave that like this. So this handles the part of checking for it and using it if it exists. The next part is making sure that we cache it before we actually return the response. So we want to this Redis hset, so author info, the cache key, and the values JSON encode response. So end result is that endpoint should be sounds like Redis needs a null coalesce operation. Am I right? Yes. Yes, Supernova, that is exactly what Redis needs. Oh, I don't know about you, but it at least feels faster. It's like they respond at almost the same time. Let's see it from the Redis side of things. Redis CLI. Oh. All right, so we have author info. Let's do get all. Appreciate you preserve my aggressive all caps. Thank you. I'm glad that brings you joy. I don't know why this is giving us a broken image here though for you, Supernova. Anytime you write, it seems to be doing weird things. Let me see if it does that for me as well. I'll try that on Discord too. All right, so because that could be something else going wrong here. Now, so I picked up my Discord. My YouTube user is broken. No, so Supernova, you were asking that before. Do you need to restart? This is on my local DB. And in my local DB, for whatever reason, you don't have an avatar URL. So when I pull down a live snapshot, a month ago, you didn't actually have a URL for some reason. So if you go to settings and connections and you have avatars here, then that means it works and that you have everything set up. If for some reason you have any missing images here, try disconnecting and reconnecting and see if it works. But it looks like this is, what I'm seeing here is that for anybody that should have defaulted to the unknown image, it loads the unknown image the first time through, but then anytime it picks up new information, it doesn't. So it tells me there's something going wrong with the cache here. Let's see here. Oh, I know what it is. All right, so let's go to live HTML. Or I have an idea what it is, I should say. Pen chat message. So here we go. So I'm always setting it. So what I need to do is only set it if it exists. So what was I doing down here? Yeah. So I need to put this check on it. So cached info.avatar URL. Otherwise, it was just always doing it. So it was overriding the template's default, which I wasn't doing originally. Okay, so let me reload this. So Supernova, if I'm reading this correctly, you actually were missing the image, correct? And then you reconnected and now it's good. If so, I think that means everything's working. Cool, awesome. So let's see here now if this message comes up with the correct missing person gravatar. Cool. So Supernova comes up without a broken image on reloads now too, or on new messages, which is good. Let's see here. I'm gonna check to see how easily we can get YouTube avatars showing up. If we can do that quickly, I think I'll do that first before we try going into Pusher, because I think Pusher could potentially be more difficult. So let's see here. So we have YouTube, user, let's see, get user details. That's brave. Yeah, definitely. Given how things go, I definitely agree. Author, get fields. I think we can do this. Let's try it. For what it's worth, on the site, my Discord avatar is broken. Interesting. All right. Maybe we can take a look at that, Supernova, because it shouldn't be broken. Let me double check and see. I'm going to disconnect myself and see if I have problems reconnecting. It's possible something weird happened. No, mine shows up. So I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that. Maybe there's something weird or unexpected in the way that we have those hooked up. The image is pointed to Discord. Avatars. All right. So so what that tells me, Supernova is saying that the avatar URL is incorrect. And we were just looking at this. If we look at the Discord API, they don't give you the avatar URL. What they give you is the template for the avatar URL. So what that says to me is that you don't have an avatar key for some reason in the response. So I get, it looks like I'm getting ID and username. Am I getting ID and username correct? Yeah, so in your case, data avatar was blank for some reason. So I don't know if that was maybe a permissions issue. Maybe I didn't ask for the correct permissions. I'm not sure what the deal was there, but at least we have an idea of what to look for. So maybe we could take a look at that a little bit later. So let's quickly get back to user YouTube API. We're going to need to do this with the app API. So get number of viewers. Okay, first let's go to live controller. We're going to have to get an instance of our YouTube API, app YouTube API. And if you weren't around for the getting started, or wait, did that? Yeah, okay, that's right. If you weren't around for adding OAuth to Astrocasts, so if we go to here, we spent a lot of time working with various OAuth connections. And the reason we have app level and user level is because as a user, I want to be able to connect these accounts. So for example, Supernova wants to connect Supernova's Twitch account to their Astrocast account. I want to connect Beau Simensen for Twitch and Astrocast for YouTube and my Simensen for Discord. Meanwhile, the app itself needs to be able to do things like go get Beau's avatar when I get Beau's user ID for Twitch or YouTube or Discord. So there's a distinction between those two, and that's why we sometimes I'll say app YouTube versus user YouTube. API. And it sort of evolved over the sessions. So originally, the class names actually had app or user prefixes. Now they don't once we got to YouTube. So it might be a little confusing following that if you aren't around for those. YouTube API. The YouTube API is just awful. It's just straight up awful. Yeah, so let's do this YouTube API get user details. Is that what we called it? Get user details. Yeah, but on the app side, it's going to be a little different because we're not going to accept a user, we're going to accept a user ID. And try it with refresh. I don't even know if we need to try it with refresh. I think that, I guess I will just because, just so it's consistent. Turns out the YouTube client actually has its own middlewares in it, or middleware in it to re-authenticate. So we did a little extra work that we didn't need to here. Okay, so this is the part. $YouTube API get All right, we need to look up the YouTube API Explorer. Channel. the content. For the ID, let's go pick an ID for YouTube. Here, let's try this. You need to activate errors and valid credentials. No. Upload properties, category ID. Okay, so this is who, kind, ID, related. Now, channel versus content details. For username parameter. So I think it's actually not the YouTube data API that we need. User. Surveys, fitness. Channel list, snippet title. No. YouTube live chat. That was not useful at all. Live chat. ID the YouTube assigns to author channel ID. I can't remember where I saw this before. Content details. Why doesn't it tell? It seems to tell me which things are available otherwise. Let's do snippet. Doesn't say that's available, but there we go. All right, so let's see if that works. So we can do YouTube API get channel, channels, list channels. redoing list part snippet, and then parameters ID, user ID, which we then need to use. All right, then how do we get in here? We don't want that. Get live chat messages. Get live broadcast. There we go. This is going to be a channel. And let's see if that actually works. So get user details, author ID. There we go. What we want. Snippet get title. Thumbnails. Get URL. All right. So we are a couple of minutes over time. But let's go ahead and see if this is going to work. First of all, we're going to have to get rid of our keys. So we'll do del, or can we do hdel? I'll do del author info. Does that work? It does. All right, let's do a reload here. And I don't think that worked. So we get all. All right, so I think we probably broke something. Which means we might need to pick this up again next week. Author info. Cult member gets snippet on null. All right, so this is returning null. All right. Actually, let's look to see where we. All right, tail. It's going to be really difficult for me to dig through this. Grep. Yeah, found no live. Oh, if I know live YouTube channels. All right, so this is where we're at. So I'm going to have to probably pick this up on the next session. We have tried to use user ID. Part is snippet. Let's try one more time. Let's see if this is coming up. There we go. Let's delete our keys. And one more reload. At least we'll know where this is coming from if this, yeah. So if I know YouTube channels. I don't know why that is, because unless just make sure, try this one more time. Okay, so it is coming back with, oh. It's interesting. Let's go to YouTube. Wow, okay, so this is good. This is good because decode YouTube. Wow. Awesome. So I was doing this in the wrong file, wrong function. I was trying to decode Twitch user IDs. Gotta love, yeah, or not. All right, so if not channel, no YouTube user. All right, so let's try this again, and hopefully this time we'll get a different kind of error at any rate. Looks like we got at least one exception. Get URL on null. Hey, we made it pretty far. Get standard. Let's do a different one then. Get default. I have no idea what standard is. I was just winging it on those. If we look at what we actually got back here, we see default, medium, and high. I don't know why they offer standard, but all right, let's see one more time. Awesome. So Astrocasts on YouTube. And if we reload, it comes up really quickly now too. Cool. Okay, so we did manage to get that in. It took 10 minutes longer than I thought it would, but it's all there. So sweet. Thank you all for joining, and looking forward to probably working on Discord again next week. Also, hopefully I'll have the YouTube stuff fixed by then so that it's more stable. which it seems to be doing okay now that I've restarted the bots, but yeah. All right, well, thank you very much, and have a great day.